my question is the culture of impact music, black origin in the UK from 1960s to present day. So I chose the 1960s, but I will be talking about the apartheid, which was way before 1960s, and then obviously until the 90s. But yeah. So my intentions are to study and research the beginning of when black culture music was appropriated and appreciated, as well as how it's developed into the scale of achieving an award ceremony. So one of my main focuses will be the MOBO Awards, which will be a large topic within my research paper. I just think there's a lot of interesting, subtopics within that, and how it began. Who was the first people to get awards from the awards ceremony, and now how it's become popular to the point where other races who aren't who aren't from the black culture or the black origin of music, they're getting awards as well, which I think is cool because it's it shows the impact that the genres like ska, reggae has had to come to other subgenres in modern day. I want to look at where the term black culture was introduced, along with how people automatically pegged it to be an entirely different realm to any other kind of music. I want to look at also the social consensus of what people consider to be black culture music, and how they've changed their everyday routine or their fashion, which I think is a large focus point for my research paper, because it's how it's affected modern day and how it's affected British culture. The social consensus around the black origin music towards black culture in general. How was the black Caribbean African race so looked down upon during the apartheid to becoming a very popular culture in present day and having its own award show, as I said, and the music created by black people being top of the charts. When I say top of the charts, there isn't a lot of standard reggae that's top of the charts, but subgenres from this are the main focus of the top of the chart, like top 40s, artists like Stormzy, who is the king of grime, which grime I feel is a subculture that's derived from cultures from genres like ska and reggae. And then I want to look at elements of cultural appropriation, and in other ways cultural misappropriation. So artists who believe that they are writing in a certain genre that fits black culture, but kind of mocking it in a sense. There's a lot of articles that I found online where black people who are from a black origin and black descent feel mocked in a way that white people don't understand, and trying to play their music and then it being top of the charts. Can't think of the word. They feel demotivated to carry on with the art form of black culture music. I also want to look at what the impact and the ascending popularity it's had on society. So like I said, British culture. So from experience, from my hometown, I know that a lot of young black Caribbean boys, essentially, mostly, majority, change the way that it changes the way that they think, changes the fashion, their fashion sense, and I think it brings a community to them, so they all listen to the same kind of music. What emotions would they feel? What emotions do they feel when listening to the origin of black music, so reggae? So their usual type of music is grime, rap, but what about when they listen to ska or reggae and the deeper genres, I say. And then how did trends change and when did they change? So consumer rates have largely increased for the music of black origin. So like I said, it's all in the top charts at the moment. It might be different subgenres, but the music has still got a very dominant role in modern society. And I want to look at the array of subgenres, so like I said, time and Afrobeats. They're very popular music genres at the moment. You hear them in clubs, you hear them in pubs, people listen to them on the daily. But when did this start to happen, and the consumer rates, how many people download this kind of music and stream this kind of music and listen to it and make it to who has made it like the success of what it is today, and what was the influence in these subgenres? Was it ska, reggae or jazz? Like what kind of melodic patterns that they use? What I want to look at, like the artist's influence and why they chose that kind of genre to play or to have as their brand. I'd like to discover an understanding of what the consensus is surrounding the music and, like I said, how it affects individuals. Other main focuses will be from the starting point, so Elvis Presley, for example, be a key point in my research, as I believe he became a pinnacle point in the history of black music. I want to see if he put black music on the map, or if when black people were listening to him, playing their kind of music, was it a light bulb moment for black people in the sense, I should be doing this? Why is someone from a different race getting the fame or like the success from doing something that should have derived from what we were doing as in like black people? I also want to talk about Daniel Leviton in my research in regards to in which, like he said, all music falls under 6 categories. I want to navigate this in my topic, and I would like to talk about if music of black origin hits any of these and what it makes listeners feel. And then I would like to talk about artists who have raised political issues through their music, so like black origin music in specific. People like Bob Marley and Morgan Heritage. In my research, I've looked at Morgan Heritage, and like I've grown up with Morgan Heritage being someone I listen to. His songs smile about what it's like in Jamaica and the poverty in Jamaica, and how a white man come from, where was it? Norway, and he came to Jamaica and asked like why people were like this in Jamaica. I've researched, and there's a lot of articles that say it was a pinnacle moment in like who descended from the Caribbean, because it gave them credit. So like it made people aware. It was an awareness song, and which is why I think it was such a huge impact on people like from Jamaica, which is another thing that I'll be looking at. I want to look at, like I said, people of different races being awarded at the Nobel Awards in regards to the ideology that music of black origin has become such a staple that other races are influenced by it as well. For my research, primary research is what I'm mainly trying to focus my research paper on. I want to do a questionnaire to ask people how they feel it's impacted them. I want my questionnaires and vox pops, I'm going to be doing like public vox pops, to be mainly focused on younger people, like the younger generation, as I feel, like I said, they are who was influenced the most, who has been influenced the most from the ascending popularity of black culture music and its different subgenres and what these subgenres make them feel. I'll be basing that in Nottingham and then in my town, as I feel like it's a very culturally diverse town, so I'll be able to get a wider range of perspective. And then I want to organise interviews with people from the Caribbean descent. So I have access to people who live in the Caribbean and have for their whole life, and I want to know what impact it had on them, people who don't live in a westernised society, what they think the black origin of music, the impact it had on them and their upbringing, from like the 60s, because that would be my older generation focus. And then I also want to have access to people who've not only lived in the Caribbean but also lived in the UK, and I want to see their comparisons to how they think their society is affected by it, as in like in the Caribbean, and how our society is affected by it in the UK, and what their view on it is. And then political artists in modern day, so I spoke about Bob Marley and Morgan Heritage. I think people like Beyonce, who is a very like political figure, and she tries to talk about political issues in her music, along with Stormzy, like I said, and Skepta, and even Kanye West, to the point where they're addressing black people music, and they're acknowledging that they make it more of a community, but like publicly. So Beyonce, for example, in her recent music videos, has had like music videos in Africa of like people in poverty, or she touches on like feminism within black people, like in the black society. So that'll be like another focus point. Tribal singing, what newer genres does this fall into? So like neo soul, I think, is a very good one, and modern days gospel. So like in churches, like you said, when people get taken by the Spirit, like has that got anything to do with the way it's sung, or has it got to do with the words that are sung? That's something else I want to look into. And then regarding books and like academic resources and secondary research, I found some books. So like The Power of Black Music: Interpreting Its History from Africa. On This Day in Black History by Jay Warner. It's an extensive research into times that black culture music made it in the charts, or to a #1 spot, along with moments in black culture music, such as 1991, Michael Jackson released the debut album. British Black Gospel: The Foundation of Vibrant UK Sound. Steve Alexander Smith wrote that, and then that's about the lack of historical record inspired, undertaking long research into musical genre that he feels deserves an equal amount of respect as ska or soul. So that's looking into like the gospel side of my research topic, which I want to look into. And then black popular music since 1945, and that's like kind of self-explanatory. And then Black Genesis rewrites the history of world civilization, placing black back in its rightful place at the centre of mankind's origins. And then I found some like articles when I was trying to look into like the MOBO Awards, and there's a quote from I think it said the king of NME. So he said, one only has to look at the charts, streaming, social media and online to see how successful and part of popular culture British black music has become. And he says there's a glaring gap in the market for more art forms surrounding black culture. So they've stopped the MOBO Awards this year, and they're carrying on doing them next year, so that they can delve deeper into more art forms surrounding black culture and music. So that'll be another focus point of my research paper.
Thank you very much.